Hi, and welcome to the Unknown Secrets of SEO podcast.
Hello, welcome back to another fun-filled edition of our Unknown Secrets of SEO podcast. All our listeners and viewers.
This is podcast number 47. You are listening and or watching to the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes.
In the world, on everything.
iTunes is the world, right?
Yeah, that works for me.
iTunes is the world of music, and we're the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes.
And we have music on it.
You can see do we look pretty balanced in the image over there?
We look awesome.
All right, good.
I know, but you're only going to get one answer to that question.
We're looking hot. All right, as always, we want to follow up a little bit about what we talked about last time, which I don't have in my notes here. Do you remember? What did we talk about last time?
We talked about...
It was brilliant. It was amazing.
Gosh.
It was podcast number 46. It was, hold on a second.
It was podcast 46. Man, it's on the tip of my tongue. I just can't think of it. We talked about, backlinks. We wrote that down. We had a really good topic. Keyword selection.
Keyword selection.
Proper keyword selection. Not going after the big dog, so to speak, every time you go after a keyword. This is probably one of the most popular things, mistakes I see people make. Or let me take that back. It's not a mistake, but most people don't understand what they're getting themselves into.
There's a lot of room for error in that process.
You want to go after a keyword that gets 1 million searches. Most people just don't understand the work that's going to be involved. So I'd say the mistake that they made is picking the keyword, and not committing to the work that they'll have to take to get there. Because you can go after a keyword with 1 million searches a month. But, you got to think about, are you prepared to do that? Is your website ready to do that?
And here's maybe a reasonable example. You're thinking about starting a new business, and it's a retail business. Most retail businesses, you want lots of traffic, right? So if you go for the piece of property in your city, town, state, wherever you're at, that has the absolute most traffic, you got to pay a premium for that piece of property. And maybe your small business isn't ready to pay that premium. Maybe that's not a burden that your business can handle just yet. You want to move it there, right? You want to get it there, but you got to start at kind of a lower traffic. So you want to start on the long tail keywords, which are usually the longer keywords, more words in the keyword, and also the less searched keywords, and then move up from there. So that's really how that goes.
Okay, so definitely think about that. I think it was an awesome podcast. If you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to it, because that's keyword selection is one of the most important parts of SEO. I'll probably say that every other weekend or every other podcast.
It's kind of like real estate, right? Real estate is location. SEO is keywords. And so make sure you do your keywords right. After that, you want to do content. But that's more like building the house as opposed to the foundation.
And the foundation.
By the way, where can you find our podcast? You can find us on Podomatic. The best way to find us, though, is just go to our website, e-webstyle.com, and you can find a link to our podcast there. I don't think it's across the top, but I think it is right across the bottom. We got a link to the podcast directly. Or if you get into our blog, I'm sorry about that.
I need to check that.
If you get into our blog, then you'll find our podcasts, and you can actually play them directly from our blog. You can see transcripts of our podcasts. You can also find these podcasts in video format, because we're recording right now. We're recording live. I thought I turned all those off. Recording live. You can find these, and the best way to get to that is e-webstyle.com/Ustream. And when you go there, that'll take you directly to your Ustream page, the eWebstyle page on Ustream. That's right, just hang up. Another way that you can find us is you can email us at podcast@e-webstyle.com. We're actually going to be talking about an email from Darren Boyd.
And here's one other way you can find us. I found this last night. You go to iTunes Store, type in SEO, and iTunes lists a bunch of podcasts at the top, and directly below it, I just found this, they have live podcast episodes.
Wow.
And we are on the top 10.
Wow.
I found that last night. You type in SEO, you'll find us. And if you type in SEO podcast, we have 2 episodes in the top 10.
Awesome.
I just found this last night. So thanks, iTunes.
That's awesome.
I thought that was really cool.
And one thing that we were really excited about last time was the amazing reviews that we got on iTunes. One of them said that he's learned more from our podcast than reading multiple books. So you're learning right now.
Thank you.
It may not feel like it because it's fun and it's exciting, and you are learning. You're learning about SEO. So that's great. Oh, I also wanted to throw this in because we were talking about an Australian comedian last time.
Oh yeah.
And his name is Yahoo Serious.
Okay.
And he was in the movie Young Einstein. He had a little crazy hair, and it was really kind of wacky. I don't know, Beavis and Butthead, dumb, probably American type humor, although he's Australian. I don't know. That seems a little weird. Somebody makes some comments.
That's a good point.
Somebody makes.
That was John in Western Australia. So
it's like, you guys are funny for Americans.
American humor. Yeah, we're gonna have to step up our humor game, John.
We need to become worldly funny. That's not funny.
I don't know what that means.
Me either. All right, so and also I wanted to bring up, last time we were talking about what not to post on blogs, right? So what's the value of posting on a blog and getting a backlink to your blog? And we said make sure you add value to the blog. Here's an example of not adding value to a blog.
From our blog.
This is from our blog. They posted it on ours, and it says, "Great website. I cannot remember too clearly, but I think I found your site through a link someone shared on Twitter. I like the way you write, and I'm going to subscribe and read more whenever I can. Oh yeah, are you on Twitter yet?" How'd you find me again?
You found us on Twitter, right? Yeah, I found you on Twitter. Yeah. Are you on Twitter?
Are you on Twitter? Or just people tweeting about it? Because you're tweetable. I don't know. So that's an example. When you do, there is value in posting on blogs because it gives you the backlink depending on the blog. And when you do that, just make sure you're contributing. I mean, the whole concept, the whole way to succeed is to give back. You know, we give back with our podcast. We're excited to do that, and it's added value to our company, to us as individuals, and you know, we're required to research things that, you know, like Greg Bowie in Australia sends us, and that just makes us better at what we do. So just always be giving back, and you're going to do really well, I think. That's an axiom of life, I actually think. Give back.
I don't even know what axiom means. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm like,
how about rule?
Hey, there we go.
It's a rule of life.
That, man. Come on, you got to keep them under 5 letters here.
And it should not have the letter X.
Yeah. 5 letters, 2 syllables. You know, you got to dumb it down a little bit here.
And that's for our audience. I appreciate you making that sacrifice and throwing it out there like that. All right, so we're going to answer Mr. Bowie's question here. So
Darren, yes.
Darren. So he sent us something a long time ago, and how'd that end up working out?
Yes, Darren sent something a few months ago. He requested analysis. I sent it to him. Gave him some great pointers on it. I can't think of exactly what pointers I gave him off the top of my head, but we went back and forth a few times, and then Darren sent us an email, and he asked a really good question. He says, I'm still a little confused, but I'm gonna skip that because I'll let you answer the analytics one. But he says, I have a proper question that actually this may be related to how I've added analytics to my site, but he basically wants to know the number of visitors on his site is reducing. You know, along with the percentage of visitors to his site. He used to have one number, and then it is decreased down to another number. So he's basically asking, what's going on with my site? People are, I'm getting less visitors, and that was his concern. Now he asked a couple different things. That was one of them. Do you want to go over the analytics as well?
He postulates. Is it possible that Google crawlers are no longer crawling on? I'm sorry.
I'm like.
He opines. He says.
There we go.
I am thinking this might be that the Google crawlers are no longer crawling his website because they recognize that he's on Google Analytics. Blah blah. That is not the answer to this particular question. I'd want to ask a couple things. One of them is you do realize that your traffic is not going to be consistent. You're not going to look and have 419, and in fact, when you go the next day, and when Google Analytics is looking at a month starting from today, going back a month, whatever traffic you had on the day it just dropped, is going to be different. So that is going to be changing on a regular basis. The number, the delta that he has here is like 70 visitors. I wouldn't even think twice about 70 visitors in a month-long period. he sent this in February, so we could have been coming off of the January, off of the holidays, and
Okay.
maybe he had more traffic in the holidays because of the type of website he has. And